All right, good afternoon. Shakopee and Eagan here tonight in the Bantam AA matchup. Their second meeting of the year. They met, I believe it was the first game of the year. They skated to a 3-3 tie. Shakopee in their dark uniforms going left to right. Eagan in their home whites going right to left. O'Neill, Gabrick, and Hema will be the starting forward line with Wagner and Schmitz as the D pairing leading us off. We have no injuries, no illness today. Everyone's in the lineup, which is great to see. Hema gives pressure. Eagan skates back the other way. Gabrick over to Schmitz. His first game back since injury. Wagner down behind the net. Up to Trey. Trey battles along the board. Back to Schmitz. Schmitz skies it out. Held in at the line by Eagan. And Schmitz back for it. O'Neill back to Wagner. Intercepted. Going to be in all alone. Good stick by Schmitz to interrupt that play. Shakopee having a little trouble clearing the zone. Eagan holds it once again. Wagner has got it up to O'Neill. Stick through to Hema, and they exit the zone. Hema now one-on-one. Looks for help. Got a line change if he can find someone coming in down the middle. Hensley on it. Hensley playing forward today with speed. To Scott, who's at D today. Shot shouldered away by the Eagan netminder. Big hit along the wall by Hensley. McGuire sticks it to Lancette. Lancette drives. Shot save. Couple early shots. Some pressure by Shakopee after they were able to exit their zone. And Shakopee in the dark uniforms, Eagan in their home white, second meeting of the year. Lancette and Scott at D up front. We'll see McGuire, Anderson, and Hensley. Back to Lancette. Lancette D to Scott. Scott puts it in the corner. Up to Scott, walks, shot, score! Good traffic in net. In front of the net, excuse me, Matthew Scott with the goal. They go early lead for the Sabres, 1-0. Their third shot of the game, they're able to find the back of the net, Matthew Scott. Defense today, looks like Kearslow, Heat, and Caden switch positions. Schmieg and Malmberg now out at D. Anderson, McGuire, and Hensley. Their forward trio. Eagan ices it. Off the draw. Didn't quite get the blue line, about 2 feet short, or excuse me, the red line. Still there to be face off to the left of the Eagan goaltender. Anderson on the draw. Control good. It's going to come in and it's going to be offside. Neutral zone draw. Same line, and Schmieg and Malmberg on D. One back to Malmberg. Malmberg over to Schmieg. Schmieg chips it up to McGuire. McGuire chips to space, looks to win a race. Hensley now with the puck as he circles outside the top of the zone. He's got space down the middle. We need some traffic. Goalie's able to see it and glove it. Face off to the right of the the left of the Eagan goaltender. Same defensive pairing. Malmberg and Schmieg. Up front will be Valverde, Fitzgerald, and O'Neill. Marco wins the draw. Trey supports. Trey now at the puck. Comes Eagan the other way. That does not get tipped. That's going to be an icing. Shakopee will switch up the D pair. Out comes Schmitz and Wagner. Again, for the first time since maybe the second or third game of the year, we've got a full contingent of players. The full roster is suited up, which is great to see. Face-off controlled by Eagan, intercepted by Fitzgerald. Nice play at the blue line. Gets it deep. Valverde pressures. Chipped out by Eagan. It's going to be one-on-one. Schmitz and number 95. Slide out to the middle, all alone. Shot. Save by Van. Van in net today. Trey now picks up the puck. Fights through a hook. Oh, it's going to be offside. Offside at the line. 3 referees system today. 2 linesmen, 1 referee. Always. All right, come on that draw. Here, but that's Van in net down there then. It's, all right, here comes Eagan in. 3-on-1 shot, fires wide. They still have the music going on. I'm not sure they're unable to get the music stopped. There, we got the music stopped. Out, Hema takes a check to the, I'm going to cut him high. Van out to play it.
Wildcats or Sabres?
Sabres. All right, Sabres out of their zone. Gabriel has it now. He's going to fire it around. Shot by Scott, deflected wide. And Shakopee, Sabres are the 1-0 lead. Hensley fights for it. O'Neill pinned against the wall. Hensley supports. Eagan kind of comes away with a backhander. Anderson, it wasn't a backhander. He spun to his forehand. And here comes Eagan the other way. Eagan through neutral, 2-on-3, onside at the line. Scott out to Hensley. Hensley to O'Neill. O'Neill 1-on-1 shot. Shouldered away by the goaltender. Good shot by Trey there. Hensley. Ooh, Hensley's going to take a penalty. Cross-checking penalty. So the Sabres will go on the penalty kill as Hensley will take a seat for 2 minutes for cross-checking.
Are you still live?
All right, so Sabres will go on the kill. Land set. Scott, Valverde, and Fitzgerald will be the 4 killers. It's like the top line out here for Eagan with Bobo at center. All right, puck controlled nicely. Fitzgerald gains the red line. The penalty is not on the board, so it started at like 8:40. So we're not going to know how long this penalty goes, I guess. Eagan circles at neutral, looks to gain the line, onside. Marco pressures. Fitzgerald able to stick it out of the zone. Nice play there. And we'll get a couple new. Hema on as the new player here. 2-on-2, Eagan. Nice, sticked out nicely. Hema pressures. Line change for Shakopee. Sticked away by Lancet. Probably about a minute left on the kill. We don't know because it's not on the board. Chipped away by Hema. 1-on-1 against number 87. Oh, great. Oh, good pass. Tipped away. Gabriel takes a swing at it. Fires it behind the goaltender. Good effort there, and Eagan comes the other way. They're going to fire it in on net. A bouncer. Turned to the side by Van. Malmberg now to Schmieg. Schmieg through neutral on the kill. Still, he's going to sky that in on net, gloved and held by the Eagan goalies. So I would say maybe 30 to 40 seconds left on the kill. Seven minutes to go in the first. 1-0 Shakopee. Shot turned aside, and Eagan is going to elect to ice it. Bring the face-off down the other way. Face-off to the right of the goaltender. Gabrick on the draw. Gabrick, Hema, Malmberg, Schmieg, the four killers. Gabrick controls, shot off the side of the net, goes behind the net now, picked up by Eagan. Schmieg bounces one on, turned aside. So they're motioning him to come out of the box here, so Shakopee's now full strength. They've killed off the penalty. Eagan behind the net. Out to Malmberg. Turns Schmieg in his skates. Back to Malmberg. Malmberg up to O'Neill. O'Neill chips it. And is it going to make it for icing? It's not. Does not make it for icing. Eagan behind their own net. Ooh, dangerous pass, but Eagan player runs into his teammate. Trey holds the zone. Off the glass. Schmitz wins the puck battle and fires it back in. Hensley on the puck. So Hensley, O'Neill, and Anderson is your forward line. Schmitz corrals it at neutral. Fires it in, but enters caught by Eagan. No ice on the play. Wagner first to it. Off the glass. And it gets out of the zone. Hensley delivers a hit. Anderson through neutral, chips it in. Eagan now 2-on-2. Number 8 drives wide. Shot held by Van. All right, so 5 minutes to go in the first. Face off to the right of Van. We've got Valverde, Fitzgerald, and Williamson up front. Scott and Lancette are your defenders. Is up one. Ooh, they went forward, looking back door for 97. Didn't quite connect. Tied up nicely by Scott. Scott now has the puck. Backhands it up to Fitzgerald. Eagan pinches. The scrum along the boards. 3 Sabres, 2 Wildcats go for it. Lancette in the corner. He'll settle behind the net. Up to Fitzgerald. And they pinched down by Thomas for Eagan. Now Scott on it. Back to Fitzgerald. Glove down by the Eagan guy at the point. Shot. Stick to the side. Back to Fitzgerald. Having trouble with the zone exit here over to Scott with some space. And it's out of the zone. Fired back in by Eagan. Van out to play it. Leaves it for Lancette. Lancette transitions the other way to Scott. Intercepted. Eagan with the puck. They leave it for number 7. He walks in. Shot. Save. And there'll be coincidental minors here. One Fitzgerald will go for Shakopee, and number 95 will go for Eagan. It'll remain 5-on-5. With 3:54 to go, a face-off to Vans. Right. Gabrick on the draw. 1-0 Sabres. First period, Schmieg controls. Backhounds around to Malmberg. Malmberg up the wall past the Zamboni doors. Fight for it right there. Oh, and I thought he was going to hit the ref, but he was able to squeak it behind the ref and into the zone. Eagan now behind their net. Comes out. Trey keeps it in the zone. Nice play by Trey. Now held in by Malmberg as he seals the wall. Here's with a little bit of room. Gabrick. Go Neal just behind him. Couldn't quite connect on the pass. Now Eagan the other way. They're gonna wave off the ice. Schmieg behind the net. Sets up. The kind of pass to himself. Intercepted. Gabrick now on it. Gabrick to Malmberg. Malmberg. Pass goes by O'Neill. O'Neill blocks it. We go to Hema, all alone. He catches it. Oh, and he's taken down, and there's going to be a penalty. We'll see if this is a penalty shot. We'll see. The ref appears to be thinking he's going to call the trip. He's consulting with the linesman. We'll see. It appeared to be an infraction from behind on a lone breakaway. Does it meet the criteria for the penalty shot? We'll see. They're going to put him in the box. They're saying no penalty shot. So 2-minute minor tripping. The linesman will put the net back. It'll be a face-off in the offensive zone for the Sabres. Power play is Anderson, McGuire, Hensley, Schmitz, Wagner. So that penalty started at like 2:50. So it'll end with about 50 seconds. Again, not on the board. One-on-one now here. Anderson and Vobel. Vobel for Eagan is able to get by. Nice body by Anderson. Good play. Now McGuire with Wagner. 2-on-2. As the Sabres try to set up on the power play. Kind of fanned on partially. Egan's going to send it down. Icing, is it going to make it? It does. Icing whistled against the Wildcats. Egan's top player has yet to have a shift today. Number 11, captain of the team. It stood on the bench, has not had a shift yet for whatever reason. So we'll see if he's going to come out in the second period. If he does, he's going to be fresh. Coach talking to him right now, but nonetheless, Hensley, O'Neill, Hema up front, Scott Inlay on set. Scott walks to the middle. We can get some traffic in front. Hema now to the front of the net. Hensley up to O'Neill. To Hensley. Land set. Box. Land set. Now with it. Hema. We've got kind of all 5 people outside and hops over the stick of the defense. O'Neill picks it up to Lancet. Lancet cross ice to Hema. Nice pass. Hema picks it up, looks to set up. Probably about 40 seconds left. To Hensley. Hensley to Hema. We've got O'Neill now in front. Hensley in front. We've got some numbers. Over to Hema, and he scores. Seam pass. We have some traffic in front. A couple guys in front. Nice play. Well executed play by the by the Sabres. 2-0. 2-0 now with 1:08 to go. Again, that was Hema, I believe, from Hensley with the primary assist. I didn't catch who would have had the secondary assist, but there would have been one there. I know Trey was in front of the net. Someone else had gotten to the front of the net. The seam pass came through on the forehand, right on the tape of Hema. He was able to bury it. Minute 8 left. Schmieg and Malmberg at D. Fitzgerald, Valverde, and Williamson up front. Williamson bodies the guy down. Schmieg is going to give chase. To Fitzgerald. Intercepted at neutral. It's going to be offside. Valverde is centering Fitzgerald and Williamson, Schmieg and Malmberg on D. Puck controlled by Eagan and fired in. Dom now along the boards into the blocked by the shin pad. Gabe now behind the net to Schmieg. Schmieg with two guys on him. Back to Malmberg. 30 seconds left in the first. Malmberg to Valverde. Valverde chips it out of the zone nicely. Eagan looks to turn the other way. Here's Eagan to the middle. Good stick lift by Fitzgerald. Nice play. They're going to call a hooking penalty potentially on Fitzgerald, evidently. I thought that was a good stick lift and such, but we'll sit for 2 minutes. Hopefully 2 minutes. 16.7 seconds to go on the kill. Won by Hema. Schmieg. Well, their top guy gets a little space in front, tipped behind. 8 seconds. Good play by Gabe to get that out. I believe that was Gabe. Actually, it might have been Gabe Brick, one of the two. All right. Back for the second period, 2-0 Shakopee. Egan's top, presumably their top point getter on the year, did not play the first period. He's out now on the ice. They'll take the center ice draw, number 11. They'll start on the power play. Wagner, Schmitz, Gabrick. So now they put the penalty up at 2 minutes, but there's 16 minutes would have elapsed in the first period, so there'd be a minute 44 left on the penalty. And we'll see if they can get to that. But anyway, Wagner, Gabrick, Hema, Schmitz would be your killers. So they left it off. So again, I think this would go down to about 12. Well, they'll get it. Eagan across to Becker. They walks in. Schmitz gets the puck over to Gabrick. Or Gabrick, excuse me, up to the line. And Hema Chips it out of the zone. Nice play. Eagan enters the zone on the power play. Shot high. Off the glass. McGuire gets it out, or excuse me, Gaber gets it out. Nice play by Wyatt. No icing. Eagan looks to set up. They're going to swing Becker down. He'll pick up the puck with speed. Emma looks to angle him off. They're neutral. Eagan now enters. Shot that's blocked by Schmitz, but he loses his stick. We'll see if we can get this out. Nice play. Is it going to go on net? It's going to roll on net. Oh, and Hemla looks to stuff it. A good play, and the goalie covers. If we were curling, that would be a great curling shot there. Or golfing. Got a little side spin on it there. I guess you wouldn't want side spin when golfing. All right, so there's a little bit of time on the penalty left here. A penalty for Shakopee. So Eagan on the power play. Face off by Anderson. Given chase by Trey. Lancet pressures. Chipped up by Scott. Now Lancet to the corner where Eagan picks it up. Right out front. It's shot out by Anderson. Trey baseballs it out of the air nicely. Prevents them from going up ice. Eagan now regroups. Full strength. Both teams full strength now. Fitzgerald comes out of the box. Scott to O'Neill. O'Neill through neutral, just behind Anderson. O'Neill now enters the zone wide. The D-man giving him space. Out to the front. Chip just wide by McGuire. Lancet pinches down. Shot out of the zone. Lancet gives chase. We whistle for icing. 2-0 Sabres. 11:30 to go in the second period. All right, so Hensley, Valverde, Malmberg. Valverde calls out what he wants people to do. McGuire at forward, Malmberg, Schmieg. Face-off sits, and it's then controlled by Eagan. Schmieg closes that gap nicely. That's going to come in on net, I believe, so no icing. Gabe picks it up. Gabe to Hensley, just off his stick. Puck bounces out of the zone. Eagan, it comes in onside. Valverde to McGuire. McGuire bodied off the puck. Up top to Schmieg. Schmieg to Hensley. Hensley with time. Across. Shot by Valverde. Just wide. Valverde backhands it out front. Hensley picks it up. Hensley with time. Assesses. Over to Schmieg. Schmieg. Shot. Saved by the goalie. He didn't quite know where it was, but it thankfully for them, or good for them, it went off to the side. Now through neutral. Sticked away nicely. Number 11 is defended really nicely by Schmieg there. Eagan goalie out to play it. He shoots it. And a very dangerous play by the Eagan goalie. So, Hensley now on the puck. So I think it's going to be a 5-on-3 now for Shakopee. I think there's going to be 2 minor penalties here on Eagan. I think there's going to be 2 for 11 and 7 are both going to go for roughing, I believe. So it'll be 5-on-3 for 2 minutes here for Shakopee. They're both going to get roughing. Good hard forecheck by the Sabres. Possess the puck, draw the penalties. All right. O'Neill, Kemma, Hensley, Scott, and Lansett will be the power play. 5-on-3 as Taylor Swift is blasted over the speakers. All right, important draw here. Let's see if we can control it. Hensley with the puck up to Lansett. Hensley is net front to Hema. Trey exits, looks across. Good pass by Lansett, just under the stick of Trey. They fight for it. Scott now. A fan gets down. Hensley possesses it. Settled it. They're going for checks on a 5-on-3, and they get it out. So minute 33, the penalties now are working. So minute 33 on the 5-on-3. Scott to Lansett. Lansett through neutral. Lansett. Hensley. Hema is near him. To Scott. Intercepted. Shot the length of the ice, and that's going to be icing. Let's see. They're going to change all 5 here. We'll see if we can get some pucks and people to the net here, and see if we can create a rebound opportunity here and try to get one. Valverde, Fitzgerald, Williamson, Wagner, Schmitz, the 5 out there. Minute left in the 5-on-3. Face off 1 and controlled. Schmitz gloves it down. Wagner down to Fitzgerald. Williamson is in front to Wagner. That's going to be his 3rd penalty of the game for Fitzgerald. So one more, I think he's done. Fitzgerald's going to go for slashing. It'll still be 5-on-4, so it'll still be a power play for Shakopee. So it'll be 53 seconds of 4-on-3 for Shakopee. A lot of open ice out there, only 7 people out on the ice. Marco in to Wagner. Wagner walks down to Williamson. Up to Valverde. We just don't have anyone in front. Sent all the way down. No ice. They're saying it was deflected. Valverde gives chase. Valverde's going to rim it around to Schmitz. 21 seconds. Turned and shot by 8. Blocked. Shot again. Held by Wagner. So power play for 10 seconds. Then we're going to be shorthanded for about a minute 6. They're going to have 2 guys coming out of the box, so we got to be careful here. Okay, so now it's 5-on-4. Don't pass it up high here because I got 2 guys. Good job by Wagner to keep that low, but here they come in an odd man rush. Eagan loses the handle. 50 seconds on the kill now. Out front, and it's going to get out of the zone. Again, Eagan on the power play. They're just going to dump it in. Schmitz is going to be the first one there. Now Wagner. We'll see if he can get that out. It's probably going to go for an icing, but I think they're looking for a line change. So 7:35 to go on the second. 29 seconds left on the kill for the Sabres. Gabrick on the draw. Gabrick, Malmberg, Hema, Schmieg. Schmieg nicely backhands it out of the zone. Good awareness there. And Egan's going to settle behind their net, and as they have or they're going to give it to the first guy, and he's probably going to drop it back. We'll see. He opts not to. Gets the zone. Shot. Sticked out of play by Van. It's a stick on it. Five seconds left on kill. We'll see if we're in possession of the puck in 5 seconds, if we can hit the guy coming out of the box. Hema on the draw on his strong side, strong hand. Hema and Becker facing off. Becker goes forward with it. They're looking for that to hit the guy back door. Hits the skate of the Shakopee defender. Here we go. Breakaway, breakaway, breakaway. Gabrick tries to get it up. He does to Hema. 2-on-2. Hema and O'Neill. Sticked away from Hema. All three Sabres there. O'Neill comes away with it. Kicked away by the Shakopee guy, or excuse me, the Eagan guy. Fired into the Eagan bench. It'll be face-off. Face-off at neutral. Gabrick, Hema, O'Neill. That's going to be shot on, gloved by Van, and given to Gabrick, or Malmberg. Malmberg to Hema. Eagan through neutral. Oh. Here goes Gabe. Jumps into play with speed. He's got room. Gabe. Puck now in the neutral. Trey drops back at D. Trey over to Schmid. Trey now. If Trey can get around, but it's going to be offside. Wyatt just got in the zone a hair early. Scott Lancet at D. Hensley, Anderson, and McGuire up front. Lancet skies it out of the zone. Puck controlled by Eagan. It's a bouncing puck. Hensley now off the boards. Lancet back with it. Lancet to Hensley. Lancet with it. And some neutral zone play. Eagan now controls Lancet behind his own net. Let's see if we can get a good rush up ice here. Lancet over to McGuire. McGuire just out of the reach of Hensley. Scott regroups. Up to Hensley. Now to McGuire. Fired back out by Eagan. A lot of neutral zone play in this shift. Hensley with speed. Walks to the middle. Tries to walk around the Eagan defender. Scott retrieves in his own end. He's passed to Dom. Here comes Dom. He's got some space. Is he going to cut to the middle? Shot by Anderson, just a hair high. Nice play. McGuire now with time. Oh, was looking for Williamson in front. Might have had his stick lifted. So no icing. Nice pass by Williamson to Valverde. Valverde fires it in. Fitzgerald gives chase. Nice stick lift. Intercepted by Williamson. Turned back over to Eagan. Schmitz tries to gain the red line. Schmitz with some space. Dumps it around. 3:40 to go here in the second. Puck along the Zamboni door. Door flipped into the corner. Eagan now. Williamson now with space. 2-on-2. Good pass. Shot and a save. Good play. Nice shot by Fitzgerald. Good pass by Dom. Valverde now. Cross corner dump. Valverde out to there. Kind of a breakout pass to them. 3-on-1 the other way. Shot fires wide. Fitzgerald dumps it in. They got a guy on the far end. Intercepted nicely by Scott. Gabrick now. Come on. Gabrick turns back to Schmieg. Through neutral, tipped by Gabe. Now Schmieg walks through. Hema. We got 4 guys in the play. There we get some guys back. Malmberg and O'Neill are back. Malmberg to O'Neill. O'Neill gains the red. And a breakaway now for Eagan. In all alone, saved by Van. Stick save as the Wildcat attempted to go 5-hole. Good check by Gabrick, allowing the puck to exit the zone. Offside. Minute 42 to go. Let's see if Shakopee can pick up the intensity. Just missing on our passes just a hair here, maybe the last few minutes, but they've been connecting for the most part today. Hema and Gabrick. O'Neill out there. The battle along the wall. Malmberg comes away with it to Schmieg. Schmieg to O'Neill. Pass was just out in front of him, intercepted by 8. He comes in, looks out front. Dumped back in by Eagan. Malmberg on it. Rims around to O'Neill, bounces over his stick, right to Eagan. Good stick lift there. Minute left. We got to get this puck out, fanned on by Schmieg, picked up by Eagan. Bounces around. Trey and Hema on it. Now 2-on-2 the other way. And he'll elect to dump that in, and we'll get a fresh 5 out there. Good stick by McGuire. Hensley spins at neutral. McGuire has to dance around the defenseman. Pressures, forces the Eagan defender back. Anderson. Nice save at the blue line by Anderson, and he keeps it in. Lancet keeps it in. Egan's going to dump that in behind. It's on the back of the net. It's behind. It's now stuck in the netting behind. So unfortunately, that would have been a pretty easy exit for us, but now it's going to bring a defensive zone face-off with 16 seconds left. We've been going forward a lot from the other side, but this time they're going to have a left-hander center. Probably unlikely that they'll go forward, but we'll see. 16 seconds to go. Lancet has the puck. Oh, right out front. And played by the goalie. He did not let it go for icing, thankfully. And that'll conclude the second period. So 2-0 Sabres over the Wildcats. We'll see if they Zamboni. Doesn't look like they're going to Zamboni. The garage door is not open. So it looks like we're going to play on. No Zamboni. All right, here we go. No Zamboni, so we'll play on dirty ice. 5-on-5 to start the third period. 2-0 Sabres. They're in the dark jerseys going left to right. Eagan Wildcats in the white jerseys going right to left. Eagan controls the draw and they'll fire it in. Van out to play it along the wall. It's a bouncing puck. Picked up by Lancette. The puck continues to bounce to Scott. Right out front, and the guy didn't quite get all of it. Shot. Blocked. The shot gets through. I think Van's got it. So good kind of flurry for Eagan there to start the period. All right. Gabrick on the draw. Gabrick, Wagner, come on. Wagner and Schmidt. Schmidt sends it around the boards to O'Neill. O'Neill gets it out. Eagan now gains the zone. Trey with a nice back check. Thankfully that hit the side of the net. Eagan had a player out front. Egan's going to content to fire it back around. Schmitz on it. Now Gabrick. And is that going to be icing? Icing. It's going to be defensive zone draw for Shakopee. All right. Same five are out there. On the draw is Gabrick. Oh, it's bouncing in front. Van is able to cover it up. Gabrick on the draw. Eagan with a bit of momentum here, kind of towards the end of the second period, or the third period, second period, excuse me, and to begin the third period. Here we go, Trey O'Neill, one-on-one. He's got Hema now, 2-on-1 across. Fired just wide by Hema. Good play there. Good speed on that zone entry there. Eagan looking to kind of stretch the play potentially. They had someone out at neutral, now chipped off the glass and out by Eagan. Schmid controls that neutral, gives it to Malmberg. Back to, it's kind of fumbled there a little bit at neutral. Schmid with it now off the boards, but the boards were sealed by Eagan. Shot. Saved by Van now. Shot sticks. It's hit the skates in front. Eagan with some pressure. Out to Thomas at the point for Eagan. Blocked by Trey. This needs to get out of the zone. Gabe out of the zone nicely to Hema. He's going to get the red line. Fires it in. We'll get a fresh 5. Scott whiffs on it. Good shot blocked by Scott. Now here goes McGuire with some space. McGuire chipped away by Eagan. Now Anderson on it. Anderson and Lancette. Lancette backhands it in. Glove down by Eagan. McGuire plays through the linesman. McGuire possesses. He's got time. Up to Lancette. Lancette back down to Anderson. And Anderson fights for it. Hensley now at the puck. They score! Ian McGuire on the wraparound from Caden Hensley. So on their 15th shot, they get the third goal of the game to take a 3-0 lead. Number 70, Ian McGuire from number 28, Caden Hensley. McGuire able to beat the goalie to the ice, slip one under to extend the Sabres' lead. 10:47 to go here in the third period. Sabres now by 3. Marco on the faceoff. Lancette steps up. Eagan dumps it in. Settled down by Van to Scott. Scott chips it behind. Eagan with a little bit of time. Good stick there by Fitzgerald, and he could have a breakaway with speed. He's got the corner. He brings it in. Shot, score! Ryan Fitzgerald. That was a great stick to intercept the pass. Wins the puck race. Gets body position on the defender and buries it. For Shakopee to take a 4-0 lead. A wonderful play there. I think that's going to be Fitzgerald unassisted. This was a pass from Eagan. Again, he tipped it to himself, beat the defender, was able to get body position, and fires it over the goalie's right shoulder. Valverde wins it forward. Here comes Eagan. Becker around the corner. Becker off the handle of the stick and out of play. The handle of Van's stick. Becker looked to go short side upstairs. Face off to the right of Van. Valverde, Fitzgerald. Williamson. Lancette at D. Lancette fights for it. Around to Scott. Just chipped buckets off his skates. Scott bodies it up. Low to high. Eagan chips it in, and Van is able to glove that. And the music stops as the whistle blows. Now start the music. All right, a fresh 5 for Shakopee. Gabrick on the draw. Gabrick, Hema. The center tries to walk through. O'Neill picks up the puck. O'Neill patiently, nice play, gets it over to Schmitz. Schmitz up to, just out of the reach of Hema. Nice play. Eagan's going to come in offside. Face off at neutral. Nice play by Trey there. He had the pressure, used his skill, was patient, confident, able to get out of the pressure, and they were able to exit the zone. Gabrick on the draw. Gabrick into the Eagan guy's skate, and Eagan dumps it in. Schmitz goes back to O'Neill, now back up to Schmitz at the line. Fired in the corner by Eagan. Eagan's going to get there first. They're going to dump it back in. Wagner intercepts. See if we can get this out. To the line, not out. Fired back in by Eagan. Schmitz now with a little bit of time. Hema heading up ice. He looks for Hema, but it hits the Eagan guy's skate. Good effort there. Hema now walks to the middle. Shot. Save. Hema picks up the rebound. Up to Wagner. Wagner to O'Neill. O'Neill pressured by Bobo. O'Neill's got it back. Looks across to Wagner. Backhand. Pops right up as it's blocked by the Eagan defender. And Eagan chips it out. Goes Schmitz now. Goes the other way under Gabrick's stick. Eagan dumps it in. Van out to play it. He's in his skates a little bit, but up to Schmitz. Schmitz behind Hema. Picked up by Eagan. Hema steals it right back and looks to fire it in, and it goes into the Eagan bench. So 8:28 to go in the third. Sabres by 4. McGuire, Anderson, Hensley up front, Schmieg, and Malmberg on the back end. Controlled by Eagan. Schmieg intercepts. Eagan chops it in. Schmieg now absorbs a hit. Now Anderson. And held in by Thomas at the line. Here comes their guy. Walks right down the middle. Good stick by Anderson. Now on a guy's backhand. Eagan now looking out front. Let's go, guys. All right, up to McGuire. Intercepted by Eagan. Intercepted or knocked away by Anderson. Here comes McGuire. 3-on-2 with Hensley. McGuire looks to go back to Hensley. Hensley walks through defenseman. Hensley with the puck. Absorbs a check to McGuire. McGuire out front. Skate to stick. Schmieg wisely puts it in the corner as the shooting lane was occupied. McGuire. Here comes there's going to be no call. Thought maybe that would get a warrant the cross check. It is not. The play goes on. 7:12 to go. The play's whistled down for icing. So 7:12 to go. Face off to Van's right. Valverde. Fitzgerald. Williamson. Schmieg from his defensive position bursts through. He picks it up. He's got speed. Thought he had the guy beat, maybe. Schmieg now down to Fitzgerald. Williamson. Valverde and Malmberg now up top manning the D spots. Malmberg. Williamson. Williamson takes a hit but gets the puck in the corner. Now Fitzgerald pivots away from the pressure, hits the referee, which is probably a fortunate thing for us. Williamson now at it. Dumped back in by Valverde. Nice play there with 6:30 to go. Scrum along the wall. Out to Malmberg. Malmberg takes back ice. Eagan changes. 1. Williamson crosses over to pick up speed. Stops at the blue line and I think this group is a little tired. We're going to need a line change here. Eagan crosses the line, dumps it in. Coincidental penalties, I believe. I didn't see it. I was watching the puck, but it's going to be Lancet, Shakopee, and the Wildcat guy will also go. So 5-on-5 coincidental penalties. We have 5:56, so they'll come out first whistle after 3:56. Nonetheless, defensive zone draw to Van's left. Again, 5-on-5. Gabrick, Kemma, O'Neill up front, Schmitz and Scott, the defensive pairing. They put the penalties on the board. They didn't need to. I think the ref is wanting the penalties taken off now because of coincidental. All right, the penalties come off the board. We're ready. 5-on-5, 5:56 to go. Puck is dropped. Controlled by Eagan. Out up top. Shot blocked by Hema. Eagan chips it in. Another bouncing puck to Scott. Kind of flips it, but it doesn't get out. Eagan now in the middle. Shot blocked. Eagan now with guy shoots it, gloved by Van through traffic. Gabrick on the draw with Schmitz at D. Scott at D. O'Neill, Hema. Hema exits the zone, looking for the stretch pass potentially. Over to Scott. Scott with some time looking for Hema on the stretch pass. Knocked away by the Eagan defender. Here comes Hema in 1-on-1. Goes around the defender. Good save by the Eagan goalie. Nice play by Hema to get body position on the defender. Five minutes to go in the third. Face off to the Eagan goalies right. Anderson, McGuire, Hensley up front, Schmitz and Wagner at D. Again, Shakopee, everyone's stressed today. A play, Hensley chips it behind. Out front, McGuire now fights for it. Here comes Eagan back the other way. Wagner with good angle. Ice is a little questionable over by the Zamboni door. Schmieg. Schmieg now up. Almost out. Now it's out. McGuire to Hensley. Hensley puts it in the corner. I think it's going to block, partially blocked by the Eagan defender. McGuire to Schmieg. Schmieg back to McGuire. McGuire chips it in. McGuire on it over to Hensley. Hensley looks to find someone in the middle, hits a skate. Shot blocked. All right, Wagner to McGuire. McGuire to Anderson. Anderson to Hensley. Good at the line. Hensley tries to walk through. Eagan back the other way. 2-on-2. Backhand pass. And Scott will go to the corner. Turnaround shot. Sticked away by Van. Malmberg now. Malmberg out of the zone. Offside at the line. Yeah, we play center ice face off with 3:36 to go. Valverde, Fitzgerald, Williamson. Up front, Schmieg, Malmberg at D. And it's a kind of a five-person scrum. Geez, I thought maybe 97 would get a penalty, but essentially just went forward with a cross-check on the face-off. We play on. Valverde battles along the board with Fitzgerald. Schmieg joins the scrum. Schmieg now looks for it in his skates. Circles back away from pressure and back to Malmberg. Malmberg back to Schmieg as he hinges up ice. Schmieg now back to Malmberg. 3 minutes to go in the third. Malmberg, Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald sidesteps a check. It's going to be offside at the line. We'll see if they send that all the way down. They don't, so there'll be another center ice face-off. .254 to go in the third. Valverde on the draw. Fitzgerald. Out right wing, Schmitz, Wagner at D. Williamson left wing. It's one forward by Marco. Eagan looking to stretch the ice as they go backwards at the defenseman. Kicked up by Schmitz. Here goes Schmitz back the other way. Across to Williamson. Oh boy, off the board by Fitzgerald. That's going to be ice. We'll see if Eagan goes forward here on this draw. I got a left-hander at center. I'm going to guess they go forward. We'll see. Gabrick on the draw against him. The 95 is set up to go forward. They go forward. Shot blocked. Gabrick now. 2-on-1 with Hema. Pass just a little high. Eagan now up ice. 2 minutes to go. Trey bodies setting him off the puck nicely. Eagan now shoots it. Deflected. Save. Wagner kind of has it. Now up to O'Neill. Oh, good save by Van. Van is able to get across and stop Luke Becker on that one. 1:33 to go. All right, Anderson on the draw with Hensley. Hensley not out. Let's get it out here, guys. Lancet turns back out of the zone from McGuire. Now Anderson on it. Anderson off the boards. Eagan now enters 2-on-2. Stick is lifted. Eagan still possesses. It's in Scott's skates. They come free. It's still free. Shot out by Lancet nicely. That's not going to go the length of the ice. No icing. Hensley gives chase. Eagan turns back the other way. Lancet pinches. McGuire attempts to get it deep. They fight for it right at the blue line, off the shin pads. And here comes Eagan 2-on-2. He shoots, blocker to side. 30 seconds to go. Eagan now, it's gonna bounce him right around the net. Eagan up top, low to high. Let's get it out here. Not out. To the line and out. Eagan looks to regroup. They bounce one in. Van drops it for Scott. 9 seconds. Good play by Matt Scott to turn away back from pressure. So a nice win for Shakopee. 4-0 win over the Eagan Wildcats. We'll be back in action tomorrow morning, 11:15 against Grand Forks. Yeah, fun game. All right, have a good night, everyone.